So what we're going to find is when we're recovering from trauma, you might find every morning that you're going to wake up and you're going to repeat the same routines that you didn't choose because our nervous system was trained to keep us safe. So it's just like, yeah, mornings can be really difficult for trauma survivors. And avoidance actually becomes survival, right? And survival becomes that routine. And that programming from our nervous system, we learn to normalize the fight, flight, freeze response. And that's what we've been running in the background without even being aware of it. So yeah, we're going to find that we're going to wake up in the morning and that program is still running there in the background. But the beautiful part of our brain is that, the programs, they can be rewritten. It just takes time, but they can be rewritten. Our brains do have something called neuroplasticity. So yeah, today might be a very difficult morning for you, but tomorrow when you wake up, and you see that old programming running, you can hold those old patterns, right? You can see them. You can give them a little bit of space. You can understand them and give them the little space that they need, the awareness that they need. And what they're going to do is they're going to start to take over less and less, little by little over time. We train our minds to be less and less reactionary. And what does that mean? It means we're actually training our minds to be more and more aware. And being aware of what's kind of going on in the background. That's a big step. We're all going to have these voices inside of our heads. And we're going to actually notice them more and more, especially during the recovery process from narcissistic abuse. And when they come up, it's important to note them because the voices inside your head, what they're doing is they're actually splitting, right? It could be two parts of you that are just kind of fighting with one another. And when the splitting happens, what we're doing is trying to recover from narcissistic abuse. Because one part wants to do what it's always done in the past. And the other part is stronger, has a stronger voice. And it wants you to step up and stop living like everything's still a threat, right? Because the one part still reacts. That's going to be what it does. That's what it's learned to do. And it's going to want to shut down. And that makes sense. Because what we're actually happening when we actually delve into our subconscious and when we actually look at our nervous system, our nervous system is doing what it learned to do to survive. Right? It was taught, it was trained, it was groomed into the survival state to stay in this survival state. And you have to run someone else's program in that space in order to survive that environment. And over time, you forget. It's not even your program, right? It's someone else's. And the moment that you notice that this is happening, the moment that you can catch yourself to just before a reaction and think, wait, this isn't how I want to live anymore. That's the beginning of healing because you're going to notice those old patterns. And once you notice those patterns without running the old patterns, that's how we break patterns. And that's how we create new patterns.